Pisces, the universe has been working behind the scenes for you. So let's get into the details this week. All right, Pisces. First, we're going to do your general reading, which I pulled before we got started, and then we're going to get some guidance cards for you at the end. So for this week, it looks to me like you've been carrying a weight with you when it comes to what are you going to do for long-term financial stability. Kind of like wanting to figure out a comfortable plan for the long term type of energy, right? And this has been weighing really heavily on you. I can see that you've had to walk away from something that you were very emotionally tied to. And it was something that had a lot of like competitive energy in it. Like maybe it was walking away from a job where you constantly felt on edge and like you weren't good enough, and there was like this underlying competition with coworkers, or maybe you walked away from a connection that had outside people interfering in it, right? But whatever you walked away from, you were very much emotionally invested in this, and you took it very hard. It really hit your soul, right? And what is beautiful about it is your Eight of Cups goes straight to the Nine of Cups. So you walked away from that and you are headed towards being more emotionally happy and content in your life and your emotional state in general. So that's great. So whatever you walked away from or whatever door closed, it's leading you to more stability, whether you see it currently or not. And what's interesting to me is that the Eight of Cups followed the Oracle of Pentacles, which I know sounds like a financial card, and it is in some cases, but it's also about discerning where you invest and where you retract your energy, right? What you're investing into and what you're deciding to hold on, right? And to me, it's kind of like you decided to stop investing into something and you walked away from that, right? But it's also a card of abundance. And she's in between that Eight of Cups and your Ten of Pentacles. So I believe, like whether you know it or not, you're a naturally abundant individual, right? But currently you're just in this middle ground, this in between state from whatever ended and you walked away from, and figuring out your next path. And that's what's been weighing heavily on you. And I can see that you really want to go on like a new journey, like a new adventure, learn something new, try something new, and you really want to, go after what you're passionate about, not necessarily, you know, building a ton of coin and money and just having a 9 to 5. That's not the energy I get from this. This is like, I want to charge towards what makes me happy and that bring me abundance, and so there's a shift in perspective that happens with you when you decide this. Excuse me. And, I feel like you're having a new relationship with yourself form, or you're manifesting a new beginning that isn't fully developed yet. Because you do have the Ace of Cups, but there was nothing else that spoke to the Ace of Cups yet. So I do think that this is also, again, about discernment with yourself and deciding where you want to put your energy and where you don't. And maybe that's why that Ace of Cups is there, is like because you're becoming more discerning and having good boundaries, you're forming a new relationship with self, right? It'll resonate with everyone differently, but that's just what I'm picking up on. But what's awesome is even though you have all this emotion and wands, which doesn't surprise me as a Pisces to have a ton of cups in your reading, You are trying to be very logical about this because your overall was the Elder of Swords. So you're trying to like really think through this and not get emotionally too swept up and everything. And you're just trying to stay grounded in your energy of like, you know, what is it that I do want to, go after next. So let's get some guidance cards for you this week. What is guidance for Pisces this week? What guidance do you have for Pisces this week? Okay, so you got the sound of the universe. And you also got new blueprints. So, let's see. The sound of the universe. Having your world shaken up, even a little, can invite a deeper glimpse of the great mystery of your life. There are a myriad of ways to peek behind the veil of the mundane world. Ecstatic dance, spiritual exploration, and intuitive creative pursuits are just a few. Aim to naturally imbue this awareness in your everyday existence so you can avoid the sudden wake-up calls. Wake up to the hidden music, harmony, and the wonder of your multidimensional world. It says life-changing experiences, glimpsing the great mystery, significant timing, pivotal movements, the tuning fork of universal consciousness, music transcending in mundane reality. To me, that's talking about, like what I said, you went away from whatever the situation was, right? And it caused like this life-changing experience for you. You had some kind of shift happen for you that was big enough for you to change course in the way that you approach your finances, in the way that you approach what you want to go after long term. Like something happened that caused this shift. And I feel like, it's just giving you the guidance that it's giving you is to like transcend that energy, right? Like inviting that into your energy instead of causing it to drag you down, right? Instead of it causing you to go into depression or sadness, like, make harmony, that we have sudden wake up calls happen in our life for a reason, right? So let's see what I have a feeling. New blueprints is speaking on this new path and this new you that's going to be coming in. This card inspires action, no matter how small, that will create a ripple of light in the world. You are part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, your choices, your presence are making a difference. You have more power than you can realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time, so make plans and start now. Be the change. Take action. Take a step, no matter how small. Ignite an upward spiral. Make a positive change. Ethics and compassion, and create a ripple of light. So yeah, just giving you the guidance to like be the change, take the action, and just like how powerful you are. Like I said, your energy came out as like, master manifester, abundant, right? And it's saying that like you have more power than you realize, and take this change and give it time. Like if something happened that was a huge part of your life, it's going to take time for things to shift into something new, right? It's going to take time for that energy to get out of your life and for new things to come in, but to just be the change, take the action, and like realize that you have more power than you give yourself credit, because whatever you focus on, you can bring in. So, yeah, that's what I have for you this week, Pisces. If that message resonates, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would truly appreciate the support, and have an awesome day. Bye, my little mystics.